Hola, it's Avery Levat Thompson from thedreamunlock.com, boutique coaching for actors, writers, and dreamers. I'm back this week talking about your emotional chords in preparation for, there'll be a free class the weekend of the first week in January. I think that's the 5th, that Saturday. I will be doing a free emotional chords interactive class on Zoom where you can see me, I can see you, we can talk back to each other. You can send me your workbooks, you can share your workbook and your work on screen. You can basically get private one-on-one coaching with me. And that class will be a 2-hour class. How do you get in on that class? Well, first of all, you do the Dream Unlocked, Dreaming Out Loud mini-course. I've included the link here. It's thedreamunlock.com/DOL for Dreaming Out Loud - mini-course, all one word. You start with mini-course 1. It's a little 9-minute video. It has workbooks, 2 workbooks. You click on the link, you download them, you fill out the workbooks, you email them back to me. Then you go to video 2, it's another 9-minute class, 2 workbooks, and then video 3, which is summation, 2 more workbooks. You then send me all those workbooks, click the ending survey and ask me all your questions, and then all that stuff comes back to me. The following week, I will look at the work and I will answer your questions based on the work. Now, the workbooks themselves are for the free class. They're part of all the work that I will send you because you get the most out of the Dreaming Out Loud session by doing the work ahead of time, and then you and I walk through it and we cut away and we sculpt, and the workbooks allow me to get to know you better, okay? So that when you actually come to class, I can help you sculpt what those 4 core chords are and then create an emotional brand for yourself that we can then apply that to the reel, the website, your headshot shoot, hair and makeup. Your reel should look like a short film of your 4 major emotional chords. So once you know that, you can then begin to package yourself in a way that when your website is done, the ways that people get to know who you are as an artist in this business are from your headshot and resume, your reel, and all of the physical branding of your website, from the colors you wear in your headshot shoot to the choices in clothing you make in the reel and in the headshot. You're going to communicate what your emotional brand is. That way, your physical brand speaks for itself. You're right here, right? But you make it more specific when you emotionally brand yourself as an artist. You are saying to the industry, these are the kinds of human beings I understand and I play beyond the shadow of a doubt super well. I actually have a story within me that makes me uniquely qualified to play these emotional chords. It makes you unlike anyone else. It makes it clear what you have to sell. It also means that when you walk into auditions, your audition is flawless because you have something to say about the humanity of that character that is completely different from anyone else, right? Those emotional chords are the 4 major life lessons you were put here to sort out in this lifetime. They are either the things in your past life that you did not get right, you're here to get them right, or they are the things within your ancestral memory, the things that your ancestors continually failed at. And each generation has learned a little bit more so that they can give you the tools to solve this problem. What's in your ancestral memory? I'll tell you things that I hear all the time that tell me these are unresolved things in people's ancestral memory. Don't tell people your business. Oh, that little girl is spoiled. You're spoiling her. It's no good to spoil her because the world is not going to do that. Those are all fractures from ancestral memory. All of that is bullshit. Don't tell your business. Why is that bullshit? But it is a fracture that is handed down from our mothers and our fathers. Be a good girl. You have to be better than everybody else. Don't eat, because if you're fat, that means you aren't worthy. All of that is shit that's been handed to you from a past life or from your ancestors. And you're here in this life to get rid of the bullshit that's driving that, right? And people are like, oh, it's not that deep. When somebody tells you never tell your business, even if telling your business means saying, oh, the man I'm with is beating the shit out of me, do you see how those 2 things are related? Don't tell your business. That's why you have men who are in the closet and who hate themselves and eventually kill themselves. Don't tell your business. Because don't tell your business means don't ask for help. Don't be vulnerable. That's no way to live. But that's a fracture. That's an inherited lesson that doesn't serve you. Well, guess what? If that's the inherited lesson that you have, you know how to play characters who are struggling with that. Because the first thing they tell every alcoholic, every addict, every survivor of genocide is to tell your story. Telling your business is how you heal. As long as you don't tell it, you are a victim of it. That's ancestral memory. Be a good girl no matter what. So that means if that's what you've inherited, that means you cover up the mistakes of people who are fucking up all around you and you try and make it better as if that's your responsibility. What a load to carry. That's so fucked. That's not your job. It's not your job to be good. It's your job to be whole and juicy and a little messy and beautiful and brilliant and not always right and soft and vulnerable and needing to be cared and adored. And that's your birthright. Your birthright isn't be good. Hey, Alana. Your birthright isn't be a good girl, don't eat, get some Botox and be perfect. That's not your birthright. That's not human. That's some shit that's been prescribed to you by other people that are fear. Fear of not being good enough. Okay? Because our ancestral memory and our past lives don't allow us to show up here and be like, you know what? There's some stuff that's not great. And as Pema Chodron writes, the Buddhist nun who I love to follow, I love her writing, in Things Fall Apart. No, in places that scare us. She's like, the places where you're a hot mess are the juicy parts of you. They're the parts of you here who are willing to fall down, break, make a mistake, and fix it again. And I'll give you an example. It's very stunning to me of how she talked about your personal juiciness. And it was a lot of her work that helped me like fine-tune this dreaming out loud technique. She talks about these prisoners who are on death row. And I want to get the story right. And they are in here for some terrible, terrible, terrible things. Murdering children, or whatever. They're here for terrible things. They are in the part of death row that's like they are irredeemable. They didn't kill their mama. They've done horrifying things. Okay. Even in the midst of all that horror, one of the guys goes to the phone for that weekly phone call and finds out that his mom has died. Okay. The other prisoners that are standing behind him hear that and they go, oh, dude's gonna crack. He's gonna crack and do something violent and hurt himself or get thrown into solitary or whatever. So when they get back in the lunchroom, this guy who found out his mom died and couldn't be there at the funeral because he's on death row, loses it. He loses it in the lunchroom. Okay. He has an epic meltdown and gets violent and it's going to hurt himself or someone else. And the guards reach for their guns because they're afraid of him. He's a mass murderer. Okay. Hi, Unique. And all of the other prisoners run to him, jump on him, not to fight him, to hold him down, to keep him from hurting himself and others, and to keep the guards from killing him. Because he's having a meltdown for a real reason. He's lost his mom. He may have been fucked up and killed a lot of people when he was younger, but he's still a human being. And so these other prisoners, they hug him to hold him, to keep him from hurting himself and getting killed. I read that and I just started weeping. And she was like, no matter where we are in our development, no matter what monsters we've become, the juicy parts of us, the fragile, broken, fearful parts of us are the parts of us that are magnificent. They're our juiciness. They are the places where we are so broken, but we are still continuing to reach for the light. Those guys may have been on death row. They may have done horrible things. But in that moment, all they saw was their friend who they were trying to keep from being killed or killing someone else. They were trying in that moment to hold on to this man's last shred of humanity. That's the juicy part of you. It's fragile. It's vulnerable. It's what you're here in this lifetime to heal. And we all have it, no matter what we've done. And as an artist, you are a particular expert at those juicy parts. So first, you actually have to identify what those juicy parts are, those broken, fragile parts that have been handed to you to undo. I generally start with all the bullshit that your family has said to you, that you spend your life trying to work up to, right? See, because when somebody else prescribes to you what you're supposed to be, then you spend your entire life trying to live up to that instead of figuring out what you were put here to do, which is organically coming from you, not somebody else, right? Because other people's stuff, don't tell your business, be a good girl. That's about their fear. That's about all the unresolved shit that they didn't bother solving. They just bought it and said, oh, I'm here to be a good girl. Instead of, I'm actually here to be me. And if I don't worry about being good, I actually might find out how to be marvelous, right? Because good, what is that? That's something prescribed by somebody else. Be thin, have good manners, be quiet. What is that? Really? Movements weren't led by women being good. Movements for change weren't led by women who were fucking hungry, worrying about was their forehead wrinkled and have they eaten too much. Movements for change were not led by those people. Movements for change were not led by people being good girls. They were led by people willing to be messy. So, where are those juicy parts of you? Where are the broken parts waiting to be healed? That's what your emotional cords are. So, I'm going to ask you, one, to go to thedreamunlock.com and do the mini course. Because that mini course, 3 videos. It's dreamunlock.com DOL-mini course. I want you to go in, do those mini courses, 9-minute videos, do the workbooks, send me the workbooks. At the end, there's a short survey where you get to ask me questions and tell me what you're struggling with. Then next week, I come back and I respond to any questions that you've highlighted. Okay? So that's step 1. Now I'm going to answer some questions for people who have done the damn workbooks, which is Alana, who is here, being foxy. Hi, Alana. So Alana sent me a great question, which I actually posted in the comments. She did already done the workbooks, y'all behind. See? And if you do the workbooks, you should actually have amazing questions for me at this point. Do the workbooks and listen to the videos. So when you do the workbook, I add you to the email list of your choice. And then you start getting the replays of these classes that I've been doing every Saturday. So every Saturday through the end of January, we'll be doing these, well, through the second week of January, because the big class goes on sale the second week of January. And so everybody who's been listening to these videos and doing the workbooks, you're going to get the discount or the extended payment plan and the private coaching. People who have not been doing them won't get that. They'll just get the flat class, which is okay, I guess. But if you want somebody to walk you through these steps and hold your hands and give you feedback and guide you so you have a gentle landing, that's what private coaching is about. That's what the class is about. Which is why I give all this information away for free, because you can figure it out for yourself, right? Just like I could figure out how to undo some of my trauma myself. I could have done that and spent 40 years doing it. Instead, I went and I got a really great therapist who helped me figure that stuff out in 15 years instead of 40. Same thing with graduate school. It's like, well, I could go out here and be an actor and I could try and act and get in and do this. And I could be out here 20 years trying to get that first Broadway role. Or I could go to grad school for 3 years and then start working as a professional actor in 5 years and end up on Broadway a lot quicker, right? So getting a coach, getting training, always shortens the learning curve if you choose the right coach, if you choose the right learning methodology. So that's what I have to say. You could obviously do all of this on your own, obviously, right? But someone who's been the road and who lays out a plan of action for you, it's going to get you there a whole lot faster. And so I thought about it. Am I going to spend my wheels in New York auditioning and doing community theater for 20 years just to get that first SAG role? Or am I going to carry my ass to grad school and then be on TV in 5 years? Okay. So you're going to go and you're going to do that first mini course. Alana has done that. She asked me about color. She asked me about, are your emotional cords come from your real life, your daily life? And when you do the mini course, you'll understand the answer to this question a lot better. So the mini course is sourcing your life, right? The dreaming out loud technique that I talk about in my TED Talk, which is what the mini course is, helps you get at recurring themes in your everyday life, okay? And the dreaming out loud technique is for anybody who wants to get present with their dreams and their life purpose. So it's broad. It is for writers. It is for actors. It is for people who want to start their own business. After you've done the mini course, you know what your chords, your recurring themes are that are going on in your life now, in your everyday work life, things that are getting in your way, things that are blocking, things that you need to see in order to clear that path. For an actor, how we then apply that to your acting career is, okay, now you have a ton of self-knowledge. I want you to go and find 25 scenes. Don't just give me the synopsis of the movie. Don't just give me what this actor does. I want it really specific. You're not a synopsis. You're specific, right? I want you to find 25 scenes. Alana's questions, could this be books? Could it be songs? Could it be movies? Da, 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 da. You did that in the first dreaming, in the mini course, right? Now when we get to the next phase that is specifically for actors, which is what you get to after the initial mini course, and you start getting the emails from me with the exercise and the videos. Those 25 scenes should be from the medium in which you want to work as an artist. So people ask me, well, can it be a play? Can it be a poem? Can it be, does it be TV? Can it be a film? If you want to spend your life in theater, it should be a play. If you want to spend your life in television, it should be a play. If your ultimate goal, it should be a television show. If your ultimate goal is to be in film as a character actor or a leading lady or a leading man, then you should pick scenes from film. You should pick the genre with which you most identify making a career. That could be two things, but I would wager that you should pick 25 scenes that move you and transcribe those scenes. Move you. By the end, you were changed. They made you cry. They made you laugh till you couldn't breathe. I've posted some scenes this week in the Best Actor. I posted Sexual Chocolate from Coming to America. And I was like, why does that resonate with me? It's soul. It's the soul of a griot. It's the soul of a transformative chameleon, which is what Eddie Murphy is. Part of why that scene resonates with me is that I love chameleons. I love old school Black people from the country. I understand people who are from the source. I understand gay men doing the best they can with what they got, which is who that character is. He loves Jesus, and there is no place for a gay man in the church and to be out, except to become an R&B singer and be fabulous. Because I was raised in the wild by gay people, right? That scene resonates with me because it's a truth teller who sees himself clearly. Only Little Richard could be homosexual and be a megastar and still go to church. Like, how brilliant is that icon in Black culture? How brilliant is that? I'm gonna still be who I am. I wear my lip gloss and have my hair pressed and still be fabulous. At a time when being gay was not something you wanted to do. Being a cross-dresser was not something you wanted to do. Being gender fluid was not something you could do. I mean, I love now how everybody's like, we so new. I was like, baby, there been singers who've been gender fluid in the Black church forever. We got a whole culture of it. You ain't new. Okay, and they lived and survived and thrived. Okay, and we bought their albums and made them rich. We accepted them. Okay, so find scenes and transcribe the scene. Because if you find a scene that moves you so deeply like that, it means that you understand that in your core. It means that that character, that given circumstances of that scene is triggering something in your emotional memory that you've wrestled with and come out on top. That's why it's so moving to you. You can see yourself in that struggle. You and that character are struggling with the same things, the same battle for dignity and self-worth, the same battle to be seen, the same battle of moving from having a voice, not having a voice, to having a voice. The same struggle of being invisible and struggling to make yourself visible to yourself and to the world, right? So you're going to find these 25 scenes in the medium with which you most identify making your career. And here's the other rule. You cannot pick characters that look like you. I remember having this class where I asked women to pick, and it was a class overwhelmingly with Black women, and the scene you identified with it. Everybody picked the Vera monologue from Seven Guitars. I was like, so you guys are all the same Black woman telling a man he broke your heart? That's all you are? Is that's the extent to which you can see yourself? Everybody picks things exactly like that. They pick that scene, and they pick Angela in What's Love Got to Do with When She Got Beat Down. I was like, so the extent of your humanity is the Black woman who got beat and the Black woman who got left. That's your emotional chords. Wow, that's frightening. The emotional chords are designed to force you to step out of the stereotypes and the limitations that have been handed to you by outside world and look inside about what you dream about truly being possible for you, what you've been afraid to dream about. You must pick 25 scenes with characters struggling with something that moves you deeply and profoundly who don't look like you. If they're Black, they need to be a man, or they need to be a woman 40 years older than you, who's a different complexion with a different life experience. They actually physically need to be extremely different from you. That way, you're forcing yourself to deal with the emotional chords, the emotional makeup of this person, not just how they look. The industry is going to do enough of that. They're going to limit you to your age, to your race, enough. Your emotional chords give you the power to demand to be seen beyond the physical. It forces the industry to deal with your humanity. And when you operate from submit me for roles according to my emotional type, you're demanding that the world see your humanity. You're demanding not to be limited by somebody's myopic view or somebody's stereotype, because you can then begin to talk about the character and act and make acting choices from the top of the scene based on your emotional chords, not just how you look. You're going to change every year. Right? I haven't played a Black woman my own age in at least, oh my God, like 5 years. I have not played a Black woman my own age and upbringing. I have not played a character identically like me in a long time. The characters I played were written for people who were elderly, white, obese, Asian men, all over the place. Jewish, 50-something women. Right? I haven't played somebody of my physical type forever because my brand is my emotional type. From the pictures to the website to the reel. And the reel is very intentional. So ultimately, in the Dreaming Out Loud Emotional Type course, it's going to end up being a year-long course, which you can pace at your own whatever. Or you can take a 6-week intensive with me, which is basically private coaching. And it's going to be about $1,000, $1,200, something like that. But it comes with tons of private coaching. And we will lay out a plan where you can take the online course, which will each month we will get at your chords, and then we will deal with how to package those chords into a reel. We will use the scenes that you're beginning to identify. You will create a reel of your emotional chords. You will costume yourself for each character according to your emotional chords. Okay? You will make acting choices according to your emotional chords and get coached through those choices with me. And then we'll do the reel, and we'll cut and edit it so that it becomes a short film of your emotional chords. Your 4 major chords at which you are expert at. Okay? Then we will costume, hair, makeup, clothing for your reel, which will reflect your 4 major emotional chords. I mean, not your reel, your headshot shoot. We will choose a headshot photographer according to your emotional chords. Right? A photographer who can clearly see those parts of you. Right? And then create a shoot that reflects that. I feel like great headshots should be much more, they should look like stills from a short film than they should a studio shot. And they should be untouched because we're talking about your soul. I've recently made that shift to untouched headshots. If you look at my headshots, they're not touched. I was like, I want to look like me. And actually, having a brand of I don't have any Botox in my face is like unique. I am now unique. I was like, you could actually see all of my flaws and my frailty. How about that? Right? It makes me interesting on the set. And it means that all the women with Botox, which is everyone now, Black women included, which is everyone, I look different. How I look is how I look. That's not what's on sale here. Right? The warrior is on sale here. The truth warrior, the healing warrior. That's what's on sale here. That warrior ain't got no time for no Botox. You got to go for them injections. And you got to stop eating and go to the gym every day. I'm saving the world. I don't got time to be at the gym for 3 hours every day. I'm saving the world. I don't have time to go to the doctor every 2 weeks, get no damn Botox. I'm saving the world. That's my brand. If your brand is the woman who's perfect, right, who's saving the world with her perfection, then you do have time for the gym and Botox and picking outfits all day long. You got time for that. That's your brand, right? So the process of the emotional chords is something I've done with people in private coaching for a year. And then they go and make their own movies because they now know who they are and what they're supposed to be doing. So that's what that class will do. We will package the entire thing. But first, you got to identify the chords. So that's this week's homework. 25 scenes, people who look nothing like you, that move you profoundly. You're going to transcribe those scenes. And then you're going to send them to me. Alana said a very interesting thing about the workbook. She's like, you might throw them in the trash for all I know, but it really kept me accountable. Well, because that's how I'm going to determine who I'm going to give this private coaching to for free. The people who do the workbooks. Because I cost $500 an hour. My coaching clients are paying me $500 an hour for a year to help them do this rebranding and then set an agenda for their agents and managers. And you can ask them, Modesto Lassen, we've got movies all over the place. Angela Lewis, who's a series regular on Still Fall. Sharice Booth, who's starring off Broadway now in Fabulation. They have rebranded their careers. They spent a lot of money and a lot of time. Right? So it's not something I give away for free. But the person who does all these workbooks in that free class, in the first week of January, they will get live coaching with me in that class. That's what the workbooks are for. Because the more information you give me, even when you take the classes, you will have a ton of homework. I will give you 16 hours of recorded classes to do before we even meet. So that when you and I are working in this class, we are pounding through. You are showing me pictures, you are showing me text, you are showing me scenes, you are showing me reels and cuts and clips, and I'm going, no, yes, edit, clip, yeah, no, yes, right? Because I am actually about at the end, you got a new platform. And you got a marketing package and a spiel and a set of directions for your representation. You have a plan of action. That's the kind of coach I am. I'm get the shit done and take over the world. This is a war for your soul. So, do I have questions? So I'm going to be looking for those workbooks. Okay, I'm going to be looking for the 25 scenes transcribed. Oh, this is going to be so exciting. So that when we get to the emotional chords class in January, I will work through that first chord with you, and then we'll work a scene. And you will approach the scene from the chords. And you will start to show me templates for your website. You will start to show me sample outfits for your headshot shoot and for your reel shoot. Oh, we're going to do this. It's going to be ready. My work is for those who are serious because my clients end up doing what they want to do. Mandy Evans Brown has 3 movies, 14 awards from the independent film that she raised the money for, commissioned a writer, hired a director, produced it. It turned her career around. It was from knowing her emotional chords, not from, oh, I'm a pretty white girl from Jersey. She was like, I'm a badass, but nobody will give me that role because I look like a nice girl, but I'm a lot more complicated than that. So the chords are about taking control over your career and starting to work and being paid what you're worth, not what people think they should pay you. Because once you know your purpose, you no longer accept anything that's not worthy of you. Once you know your purpose, you no longer accept anything that doesn't pay your bills and make your life easier. Once you know your purpose, people respond to that clarity by making you offers that are worthy of you. Once I finally identified my purpose, I stopped auditioning and getting jobs and got jobs on offer. Because I figured out what I was here to do and what I was good at. I knew my mission as a human being. So anything that did not serve that mission or was not worthy of the work I've done to become who I am was no longer an option. And people sense that when you walk in the room. That's how you get an agent who will fight for you, because they know you're a badass and you're not accepting anything less. That's how you get an agent that gets you jobs on offer only and a manager. That's how you get top of show guest stars on offer from your reel and your website, because your brand is so clear, right? The world is taking its cues from you about how to treat you. So if you're working for free and exhausted, it's because the world is taking their cue from you about how you want to be treated and what you think you're worth. So if you're working for free, you've told the world, that's what I'm worth. Hard, but it's a hard truth to hear. In order for you to change it, you actually have to acknowledge it. Auditioning 50 times a year to get one job says I'm willing to be a slave for you and work for free and travel and spend my money on outfits and coaching to get your approval. It's a place in which you have said to the world, I'm willing to do all this work for you for free, so you give me one job. If you're ready to change that, you're ready to work with me. If you're still down with that, you're not ready for me. But if you're actually ready to teach the world what you're worth and how valuable what you have to say as a storyteller is, I'm in. If you're still playing and you're still on the journey of figuring out that worth, maybe not. Take the free classes. Do the personal work. But if you're a storyteller here with a mission, that you're an artist with a profound mission, let's do this. Do I have questions? Comments? Anything? Anybody got nothing to say? You got no questions? Alana, did I answer your question? Got questions? Alana's on this. Alana's gonna be like a mogul acting Shonda Rhimes meets Viola Davis acting in her own shit mogul in like a year, basically, because she on this. Understand? She's like Angela Lewis was exactly like this. She was like, so this is what I'd like to learn, and this is what I was like, okay, I'm on it. I'll be your coach, right? Okay, where do I find the workbook? The workbooks are on that link, my darling. At the top of this, thedreamunlock.com/DOL-MiniCourse. The link is at the top of the comment section in this video. You click that link and you start doing it. The workbooks are right underneath the video. You click them and you download them, you fill them out. The link to send them to me is right on that page as well. It's all. Alana was like, you know, Alana, I know. Alana was like, I'm going to be Viola Davis, but I'm also going to be Shonda because I'm going to write the show that I'm going to star in. Then I'm also going to produce it while I'm starring in it. And I might be the showrunner at the same time. Alana's like, so I'm going to be in that writer's room instructing them. And it's going to be my show. Yes. Alana's on mission. I hope the rest of you are on mission as well. And it wasn't until I got on mission that I could move to Morocco and run my business and take acting jobs on offer and wake up when I wanted to and give away coaching to people that I cared and adored as part of my mission, right? That's the dealio. All right, so if I have no more questions, I will see you guys here next week. Same time, same place, same bad channel. Wow. Bye. Thanks for joining me, everybody.